If a Sens loss means a Blue Jays win, we'll take it. Welcome back to Coming In Hotter, everyone. Live from the Sports Interaction Studio. Cody Gaudreault, accompanied by Brent Wallace. Brent, kind of a heartbreaker lose right here, but I'm still kind of fired up and I'm still on adrenaline after that Bo home run.
Yeah, the Jays are fun to watch right now, obviously. But I'll take the point. If you just said when they were down 2-0 at the start of the game, they would at least come back to get a point. They didn't look very good early on, so I'll take the point. You get out of there.
Yeah, it felt almost completely hopeless after those, heading into the first intermission. But Linus Ullmark really, I think, picked it up after that. And, it kind of just went uphill from there up until that, that really beautiful, I hate to say it, Demidov goal late in the third. And then overtime period. When you get to overtime, it kind of just becomes, whatever happens. It's not exactly a 50-50 game, but it does become a lot more luck of the draw game, in my opinion, when you get to overtime. But then, overall, I didn't hate the game by the Sens.
I did.
Oh,
I didn't like that game at all. Like, I thought they were standing way too much. I thought they were just way too passive. They caught a little bit of fire late, but this one they seemed off to me in this game. It looked like they were on the end of an 8-game road trip to me. And the turnover is just a heartbreaker. They come back to they've got the lead, 3 minutes to go. They give up the late goal. Okay, but you should have been able to hopefully close it out. The turnover by Drake is obviously tough for sure.
Yeah, that part.
And I can and understandably understand why fans are frustrated with that one right now.
No, it's embarrassing. It's unacceptable. Use whatever adjective you want to use. Let's get to the big moments of the game. In my opinion, that what really kickstarted this Sens comeback, if you will, where they did manage to get that 8-point, and we're gonna get to it a little later because I do think Linus Ullmark had. I mean, it's kind of hard to say it was his best game of the season because it's been pretty bad so far, but at least that save early in the second period that we're about to show on screen right here really kind of just gave me hope that at least he was going to keep it in the game, really lock it down and then allow for the comeback because, Linus just looked terrible in the first period. Well, he didn't look terrible, but he didn't look terrible. Okay. Sorry, he didn't look terrible in the first period, but sorry, I'm just talking too quick. But then that really, that save right there gave confidence back into his abilities and, kind of just kickstarted the rest, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't like the first goal that he allowed. I know that's the Caulfield breakaway, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That it just squeaks through, and those are the goals that get frustrating. I thought he was very good tonight. There's a lot of times though that a penalty shot on Lane Hudson, there's lots of things that he did very well tonight. So I don't fault Linus Ullmark in this one whatsoever.
No, I'm never going to blame a goalie for,
Oh, absolutely. You can blame a goalie, Cody.
For letting one in on a breakaway, Brent.
You can blame a goalie for anything. I'm just saying this game, I'm not putting at the feet or the paddle of the stick of Linus Ullmark.
See, compared to you, I'm a decent person. So, but then, the move on. Timmy had a great goal, and then just that heartbreaking, Demidov goal. I saw it in the comments right there, AR. It is true. Just that energy from the Bell Center. I don't know if there's a stat on it, but last minute goals or last second goals or whatever for the Habs, it's got to be pretty darn high, doesn't it?
Well, that's the I think from their coach, Marty St. Louis never quit, never gave up. And they have that same energy of they're young, they're fun to watch. They've got lots of energy and they don't quit. And I like that about Montreal. There's an energy in Montreal right now, but Ottawa should have been able to lock it down. You got those are right. It's the start of November, which we all talk about November ad nauseum, but you need those points. When we look back later in the year, we're like, this game, there's points where you should have had, and that's one of them for me.
Yeah.
But just so we're clear, that Tim Stützle goal was beautiful.
It was amazing.
It'll get overlooked because of the way the game ended, but that goal that's a hell of a goal.
Him just laying out Gallagher too right before he did it, those guys and their history that just perfectly encapsulates
the whole play.
It's just the ultimate FU to the Habs if the Sens ended up winning that game. Let's get to the betting segment, then we'll get a little bit more attention into how the rest of the game went on. So
one quick thing, Cody. Just a thank you to all the people that are currently tuning in watching. because I know there's some other stuff going on in the Canadian sports world at the moment. For
Cool.
all of you that have tuned in, a huge thank you.
Yeah, no, seriously, because it is pretty big. We're all supporting the same team for once. But right here, this segment is brought to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook, and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
Uh, Quickly, just oh no, sorry, you got to keep talking. I apologize. I was going to thank Justin, but we'll get to him after.
Yeah. I had only one of my props hit this time on the Statistical. Brent right here. I mean, we just talked about it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Timmy's on his tear right now. It looks like he finally learned how to shoot once he learned how to tape a stick. And
Okay,
yeah, like
hold on. This whole tape thing is out of control. This is not the first time he's done this. It's gone back. I have pictures of years, like within the last 3 years of him doing this. We've talked to him on the show about it. He's done this many times before, in game. So this isn't the first.
it's a great storyline though, Brent.
I know,
Let's
but he doesn't even want to talk about it anymore.
Does he not?
Like
Okay, well.
he was asked on, well, I don't know, today's Saturday. So yesterday, yesterday or
Okay.
Thursday. I can't remember now anymore. He was asked about, he's like, I don't want to talk about my tape jobs anymore. So
Dude who likes birds. Well, if he doesn't change his tape, he doesn't make that hit. I agree right there. Dude who likes birds. You're becoming one of my favorite guys on the stream. I don't know. It's just more interesting to say he changed his tape job than to just say he's on a
I
teeter
know
and
it sounds fun, but I will go back and find the photos of before, because we did a
I believe
breakdown
you.
one
I
time.
believe
I'm like,
you.
he's changed mid game. He's done black. He's done white tape. He's like, there's
I've noticed the
multiple
color change in the last couple of years. Yeah. Anyways, my two other bets were two other Sens to score. It didn't work out. Giroux, I felt like he was due in Pinto. He started off the heat hot, but hasn't scored in the last 3 games. Felt like he was due. That unfortunately didn't work out. And Giroux, I'll have to look at the stats exactly, but he's a guy who's been tearing it up against the Habs his whole career. So I just figured it would have worked out. And that goal in first 5 minutes, that's 2 games in a row now I put it down. Just feels like the Sens always giving up the first goal. I was tempted to go for the first 10 minutes, the goal in first 10 minutes, which would have hit, but then, that goal in the first 5 minutes, just I really like those 2.54 odds. So did not work out. Anything you wanted to add to this betting segment? Because, looking at the next couple games,
that's hard to
up.
pick. Like, if you're going to pick 2 goal scorers, that makes it really tough to come away with those. So, I don't have an issue with any of them because Shane Pinto always plays well against Montreal. So does Drake. Claude Giroux, I think he scored 2 in his last 4 against Montreal. I can't keep it straight.
Something like that, yeah.
Drake Batherson now has he's over a point per game in his last 27 games playing against the Habs. So yeah, they're not bad. Unfortunately, when you talk about giving up an early goal, it's frustrating. Playing from behind and playing catch up all the time is tough. Tough way to play games.
They're called the cardiac Sens for a reason. So let's end this segment and get into some more chit chat. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/cominginhot to open an account. Ontario only, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Wally, I don't know what got chippier. This game with 2 fights or the Blue Jays game with both dugouts and bullpens emptying.
Yeah, typical. It'd be a Canadian heritage moment, maybe.
Yeah,
but we knew that this game was going to get that way. Well, and I'm talking to Nick Cousins, like Wednesday, maybe. He knew back then it was going to. He's like, "This is my first game facing them. I know something's likely to happen." But it's a Habs and Sens. Something always seems to happen, and didn't disappoint.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm completely off base on this, but when me and Jamie were talking about it last time, we 100% expected it to be, McDermott versus Jack-Eye to fight, or maybe McDermott versus Struble on the lower end. I was really happy to see Cousins dropping them, like answering for his own actions, but did it kind of feel unexpected? Because that's the whole reason we brought McDermott in, right?
So different. Okay. So yes, you have McDermott in to settle the tone down, to take the temperature down, so people know that they're not going to run around and go after Tim Stützle or Shane Pinto, Jake Sanderson, who they put into the bench.
Yeah.
So, but this is different because this is the toning for the slash on Demidov in the preseason, and because of it, I think Cousins was okay to answer the bell. The only issue is though, like he came out of that last game. Um, was it the high stick or did he get? I can't remember if he got punched in the face. He was cut on the bridge. It was the scrap.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you're
and
talking about
so
Cousins. Okay, yeah.
yeah, Nick Cousins. So I was a little surprised that he went with a Struble, which is way out of his weight class to me.
Mhm.
But Nick won't back down from anybody. So good for him.
Yeah, no, hats off to him because, like I said, I wasn't really expecting it from him, and then that Clevin fight, man, he really gave Joe Veleno, what we all think of him ever since that World Hockey Championship and what he did to Niederreiter. But man, what a hit, clean hit, loved it, and it was just as clean as the hit that sent Sanderson into the bench. But then yeah, like I don't know if he kind of forced Veleno into it because Veleno kind of just went up to him and he didn't look like he wanted to drop the gloves, but he did look like he wanted to do something. And then Clevin kind of just said, "No, we're doing this." But
So
love the
yeah,
fight.
it's the almost the code, right? Like if you're going to come
Yeah,
over and try to talk tough, and then you're not going to be allowed to skate away, kind of thing. And so I get that from Veleno. Tyler Clevin, I've been meaning to talk to him about it because I'm like, are you not concerned is the term, expecting to fight more because of the hits that you lay? And I think that that's going to cause him to have to, as we all know, lay a big hit. You got to fight afterwards. And I'm wondering
yeah.
if he's going to end up stepping up into that role of having to drop the gloves more often.
And I mean, I don't hate that. It's not as much on this hit, but I mean, I'm gonna go back to the hit on Sanderson from Bolduc. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the way Bolduc. I'm not going to use the word. Well, I want to use the word turtled because he did once McDermott kind of came up to him, but refused to drop the gloves. McDermott ends up going for the extra
But
two.
but he doesn't have to fight.
Why not?
What do you mean? Why not? Because he doesn't. There's no rule that says you have to fight.
No,
And
but
if McDermott is coming after me, I don't know that I'm all that anxious to drop the gloves. Like just because he hit Jake Sanderson into the boards doesn't mean he's got to fight. It just I will tell you till I'm tired of that. You make a big hit, you got to pay with a fight. It just doesn't make sense to me.
again, I don't hate I agree with you in a way, but at the same time, if you hit a star, if you hit Jake Sanderson right into the boards, you got to expect something. And I
Oh,
get
so
it.
okay, so he expected it, but he doesn't have to fight.
You're well, and I mean, I'm kind of looking like an idiot here because it did end up
No,
working out for the halves, and
but
but I don't
like
know. I do feel like if the rules applied to Clevin, they should have applied to Bolduc because Bolduc is also a tough player that does like to hit a
but
lot. Obviously, he's not.
what rule was there for Clevin? Clevin's like, "Do you want to go?" He kept saying, "Do you want to go?" And then finally Veleno dropped the gloves.
I don't know. I just feel like there should be something there. Here, there's a
I
reason you've had this podcast for longer than I've been on.
no, I've never liked the rule. The unwritten rule: if you lay a big hit, you gotta have a fight. It just drives me crazy. That hitting's allowed in the game.
Mhm.
You should be allowed to play and lay a clean hit. If you're not like anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But that's the one thing this is the one thing that drives me a little loopy. Oh, by the way, did you like the black helmets?
I love them.
Oh,
I tweeted about
why am I not
no.
surprised? No, they look
Come on, man.
small. The Sens look small wearing black helmets and the white gear.
What? I couldn't disagree more. I thought it
Okay.
looked amazing. I love contrasting helmets from
Amazing.
the. Yeah.
Oh no, I
Well,
hated it.
first off, thanks,
But you know
Justin.
why? It's only
Always
because
got my back.
it might be because it's different and I'm old school, but I never got adjusted to it. I didn't like them.
I don't know. I feel like
Your
there's a
buddy,
couple.
dude who likes birds, doesn't like the helmets. So what are you gonna do now?
Change your name back, man. Change your name back. No, I like it. Maybe I do like it only because it's different, but it's it's something I love. It's just Sense trying something different, and we've talked a couple podcasts ago. Like I would love some kind of like gold helmet for like a special edition for the Sens, and Jamie almost yelled at me because he disagreed with me, but I loved it. Cody speedrunning, getting fired by always disagreeing with Wally. Hey, it's not my fault the old man's always disagreeing with me.
It's tough being right all the time, but it's okay. I accept the burden.
Sure, man. Sure. No, I loved it. I love it when the Sens try new things because especially when they brought in those new jerseys last season, I was like, finally something different than those admittedly very pretty, but jerseys that at least for most of my life, I've always looked the same. And in the past 5-ish years, the Sens are finally doing something different when I've seen every other team do something different. That's the way I see it. Michael Amadio, one of the show's favorite person of all time. That was another big goal to just drag the team back into the game. And controversy, but I agree with the final call, and I'm sure you do too, right?
Oh, so I've said again, goaltending interference.
Nobody knows what it is.
Right. So if they would have said this wasn't a goal, I would have said, okay, I get it. Like based on previous calls, but I didn't think it was goaltending
Oh no.
interference. But you can see if they call that a non-goal, like because it just doesn't seem to be consistency with it. So,
No,
like you can say, "Oh, Claude Giroux tried to get out of the crease," but he's still in the crease. So if he doesn't get hit with the puck first and that goes in, it's no goal, right?
maybe. Like I don't know what to say. They were even on the broadcast, they were arguing about it on the
I
Sportsnet
know.
panel. But ornithologist, you're changing your name back, by the way. Thank you. But no, like personally, I think it's a goal. I think it would have been a goal no matter like the first contact because Giroux was out of the crease by the time that shot got there. And
But that's not the. You have to be able to allow the goalie time to set, not be out of the crease.
well, you can't get in his way if you're not in the crease, right? But
No, no,
I'm
no.
also
You can be in. You can have bumped him and got out of the crease, and him not have time to set.
that okay,
To
yeah.
take. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
And
But at the same time, there was kind of like an argument going on online that Dobson may or may not have pushed Giroux in.
yep.
And the word push in is a little aggressive, but Giroux tried to get out and by way before he eventually did get out. But Dobson just not letting him out. And I do have a feeling it's kind of that effect of the defender knows that it's to his advantage to kind of direct the opponent into his goalie because the way the calls have been going so far this season, or so far even in the past 2-3 years, it would work into the defense's advantage. But it ended up being the right call. So I don't know. I don't really want to
Well, it's
complain
the
about
right
it.
call to you. If you were to ask a Habs fan, it was not the right call.
I think no, like I'm taking off
Let's
the
be
bias.
honest.
I'm wearing a Toronto jersey right now. I couldn't like right now. My look is completely anti-Ottawa.
So people just listening on the pod are going, he just said he's wearing a Toronto jersey.
Blue Jays. Just clarifying that. Anyways. And yeah, Justin, I'm going to agree with that right there.
Anyway.
Going back to the argument we had on the first podcast. There's a certain right-handed winger that really contributed to that first Batherson goal.
Sure.
Which I mean, is it fair to say that goal doesn't even get close to happening without Zetterlund?
Sure.
Sure, that's all you're gonna give me?
Well, like, yeah, like, yeah, he had he's not a bad hockey player. I don't know. I think you're not understanding that I'm saying he's just not providing and generating enough offensively. But yeah, did he come away with it? Yeah, absolutely. Like, don't get just because I don't think that he's a top 6 player right now doesn't mean he can't play the game. He was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful goal, or I guess beautiful contribution to the Batherson goal. He didn't get credited with an assist, which, like, yeah, sure, a Habs player touched the puck, but I feel like he should have gotten one anyways, right?
You can't just change the rules because you feel like it.
I can do whatever I want, Brent. It's my. I know you're technically my boss, but this is my show, man.
I'm not your boss. It's okay.
But no, yeah, and Batherson on a heater too right now.
Yeah.
I thought about putting some cash down on him, but hey, the whatever works. Ottawa on the penalty kill. Now, Habs went 1 for 3 on the power play.
Yeah.
Habs penalty kill working at 62% before the game. That's probably going to come down a little bit after that. I know Travis Green is probably tired of hearing about it, but what's going on now? What's next?
Well, it's nothing's next. They just have to play it. Like, again, this is the third straight game they've allowed a power play goal.
Mhm.
But they're not changing the system. Like, people all think that they're just going to bail on the diamond formation, and they're not, because it's now been 2 years. They're
Mhm.
not changing this system, but they're going to make them try to figure out how to play it better. There was a stretch where we all went, okay, they're playing much better. They've got
Yeah.
this figured out. So either we got to be all in, or not. I like either they're going to figure it out, or it's going to end up costing them dearly. So my guess is, because their coaching staff should all be smarter than us, they will get it sorted out.
Yeah, I think
I'm naive to this, because I think that if you are a coach, assistant coach in the National Hockey League, you have systems, you have ways. Listen, Travis Green got this team into the playoffs last year, and all of a sudden we think that he can't coach anymore. Like, he will get this team back to where it needs to. I fully believe it, or the season will either be a disaster, or he will get them back into the playoffs. But my point is, they are going to try and work through this and figure it out.
you know what? I agree. It's not going to take a huge change. Like we said, it worked out a little bit earlier. It's
I think it's just it just seems to be commitment to me. Like, I didn't think they played very good tonight. I just thought they were slow.
Mhm.
And maybe that's credit to Montreal. I'm not sure, but if they're going to play that kind of slow game, they're not going to be successful. You saw the way they zipped the puck around on the power play with
Yeah.
Montreal. Like, how many times have we seen that cross crease pass? It's something has to happen. Like, do we not think that Travis Green and the staff is going, guys, like,
they know for sure.
we got to figure this out. We can't keep giving up power play goals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're just going, hey, good game, fist bumps everybody, good game, we got a point. Like,
No,
they're trying to sort this out.
on the same note of what you were kind of saying, because the Habs do have that speedy zip it around and give the puck to your good skaters power play. But I do feel that that's exactly where the Sens have been struggling on the penalty kill, is when they are against those speedier teams, versus
Maybe
the way the Sens power play kind of worked at the beginning of last year. It was just everyone kind of stand still and hope to get open while we zip it around. So I don't know, like someone in the comments said, it only works with aggressiveness, and not that I disagree with that, but exactly, it's they can't be. They feel like they're not chasing enough on the power play, I feel, because they know they get outrun by speedier teams, so then they kind of just freeze up in that diamond formation, right?
It just feels like, and I know this isn't true because everybody wants to win. Like, they're not all sitting there going, well, I hope we can kind of win tonight. I just think that it doesn't feel like there's a sense of urgency in the game. And that's the one thing I'd like to see on the penalty kill, a sense of urgency. Like, I will do whatever it takes to get this puck out of our own end. And I don't sense that happening right now.
Yeah, no, that's pretty fair. On the opposite side, on the power play, Sens again went 0 for 3, but we were at 28. They were at 28% heading into the game. Personally, I didn't see anything too bad on the power play. Maybe again, if we talk about that lack of urgency, but apart from that, I didn't really hate it. They did go 0 for 3, but sometimes
they're now 0 for in the last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Completely, eh?
So 08, I think they're 0 for the last 11, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll just quickly double check because I thought I saw it. Yeah. Chicago 0 for 4, Calgary 0 for 4.
Oh, geez.
So, but again, they are missing a huge piece on their power play, which is obviously Brady Tkachuk. I do know that I know they've scored power play goals without him, but I feel like everything kind of went through him, and now they got to sort through and figure out what to do with. I guess it goes through Drake Batherson, as Yorkie said this week.
You can't just say, oh, we lost one guy and our power play can't work. So, but again,
but it just makes a difference. I'm not saying the power play doesn't work, but there's a huge void of try and move Brady Tkachuk out of the middle of the net or Ridley Gregg.
Well, you have to completely change the philosophy of the way the power play plays
Correct.
because
Yeah.
there's no one that does what he does.
Yep.
But again, just visually looking at the opportunities like individually in that last game, I didn't feel like they looked bad. Like they created opportunities and they played the same way they normally do. It's just again that Montreal speed that honestly caught me by surprise. Like I knew they were fast. I didn't know they were that fast. Really did catch up to them. So I'm not again, if I'm Travis Green, power play is not my priority to work on. And
No, but it should all be the priority.
well,
Every right? Like every
that
aspect.
defeats the concept of having priorities, Wally.
No, but your priority is to win games, and that means you got to make all facets of your game a priority. Like I watch practice. They do penalty kill at one time, they do power play at another. And sometimes they mix them in between and whatever, but they focus as much on one as the other, which I think they should. Like
Okay.
I understand that like the PK is a struggle, but spending 3 more minutes on trying to tell them to skate quicker isn't the solution. The solution is getting them to buy in, I think.
Okay. That's fair enough. And again, looking at some other basic stats, Sens got completely outshot in all periods except for the seconds where they were tied at 7 each apiece. Those shots compared to the last couple of games, I don't know if it's Allmark looking shaky again because, well, no, I don't think it's that. But, they looked a lot more dangerous than, the Boston shots, the Washington shots, even the Calgary shots did in general. A team that's used to dominating on shots, it felt off. 27 for the Habs, 17 for the Sens. Like outshot by 10, man. That's
Yeah, I think it goes back to where they just didn't start this game very well.
Mhm.
Like, but
only
they
5
showed a
shots in the first
resiliency
period.
to be able to battle back in it, right? Like they just didn't seem they just didn't seem right. It was just slow to me. Anyway, I've said it a number of times. I apologize, but that's the like they didn't start to get going until midway through the second for me, and
Well,
maybe it was the goal that started it. I'm
yeah,
not sure, but
if I
yeah,
can kinda just put a kind of a oversimplification of this game, it really did just feel like for the first time really in the last, I don't know, 5 games,
yeah.
it really did feel like they were missing Brady. The other games, they managed without him, everyone filled in part of what he does. This game, this is the type of game that really missed a certain number 7 on the ice. That's the biggest one.
Yeah,
You look, we talked about the
yeah.
power play, didn't appear. Penalty kill, he's not exactly a penalty killer, but also looked bad. The physicality, I mean, it wasn't there overall. I think Sens did get out hit.
Yeah,
Actually, hits were
that's
even 27-27, but
yeah.
it
It
doesn't
becomes
feel like it.
that's sometimes becomes subjective. I didn't think Ottawa was badly outplayed by any stretch. I just thought they started slow
Okay,
and looked like, but I mean, they had a chance to win the game. Like
they did.
let's. So, so I think we got to maybe put it in perspective that they should have come away with 2 points despite a bad penalty kill or a 1 for 3 and an 0 for 4 or 0 for 3 power play. Like they still managed to be able to hang around. And Montreal, by the way, is tied with New Jersey,
They're
whatever it is,
good.
tops
They're
in the
good.
East. Like
Yeah,
like they're a pretty good hockey team.
yeah. But at the same time, I feel like we should expect the Sens to be just as good because,
Yeah,
go back
I
to even
agree.
3 years ago, we would have been, I'm okay with this kind of game. But I feel like with
Yep.
having made playoffs last year and the expectations this year, this type of game isn't good enough.
Correct. I agree 100% with you.
Oh,
They
good.
need to be better and more consistent. We haven't seen a consistent Sens team for a bit here. Like a 5-game stretch, and I know we're 13 games into the season, so 5 games is a lot, but I
Mhm.
don't feel like we've seen a real
Team at its full potential.
yeah, like I know they've just pounded goals in between with Boston and Washington, but like a really consistent 5 games, I don't know. Like I'd like to see a little bit better team play.
Plus, I feel like 7 goals in a game or, those blowout games, the type of games where the team just plays so well, these kinda just happen. Every team has 1 or 2 of those a year, and, I think even
Yep,
back when I was covering the
yep.
67s when they were terrible the last couple of years, they still managed to win those games and score, 8, 9, 10 goals, so, that doesn't really put a more, context into how the team's going to do in the future. But yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how like now they've got some time off. They'll have tomorrow off. They'll
Mhm.
skate Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before they go to Boston. Or at least they should. They may actually have a day off in there somewhere. But I think a little bit of rest may do them some good here because this is going to be
It
a
will.
long November,
Yeah.
especially with the road trip coming. So, okay, we'll take the point. It should have been two, but one's better than none.
Correct. Uh, Couple of final notes here. Belleville played against Syracuse in the AHL earlier this afternoon. Yakimchuk with 2 assists. Love to see that. He's, looking good. And Blake Montgomery, we talked about him last time I think you were on. 2 goals in 20 seconds playing for Wisconsin. So there is a bright spot to today, even though the Sens did come out with a loss. But any final thoughts for you, Brent? Because I think we really covered it all.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just want to see what this team is, and I still feel that I don't know what it is yet. Like, what's funny?
Uh, no, I mean
Like,
the way you phrase that.
what? Like, where's like I thought this team was going to be miserable to play against, hard in their own end, uh, defensively really sound, and then worry about winning 2-1 games, whatever. I don't. I just they're just lackadaisical sometimes. Like I thought I thought they cheated a little bit extra tonight. Um, I thought Jake Sanderson wasn't very good in this game. Like, and how often do we ever say that? But this was not Jake Sanderson's game
No,
tonight. Um, that's, I mean, that happens, right? You just need other guys to step up. Artem Zub falling down at the blue line,
can't
right?
happen.
Doesn't happen very often. But that stuff does happen occasionally when you're, I just don't feel like we're dialed in.
Fair enough. That's a good way to say it. The if you look at last game, yeah, they came out with a win, but it did feel a little lucky again with a bad start. Sanderson didn't have his best game again, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what the future has, and again, maybe the rest will do them some good. Just kind of just find their identity back and
Yeah.
polish the edges.
Yeah. Like they're not, I mean, the season's not over here. I know we're
Oh,
talking
it's
like,
far.
but I just, the expectations on this team this year are so much higher than they have been that I expect a better performance. Good hockey teams find ways to close these games out. They don't allow, like, I feel like last year it would have been really tough for this team to give up a late goal like that. Like, probably near the end of the, like, they played a really sound defensive game. That's what's a little maybe disappointing to give up that point. I feel like now it's happened, geez, at least twice,
I
maybe.
mean, just in general, they are a lot more aggressive than they were last year. I do feel on the offense.
Really?
Yeah.
Offensively.
Well, because last game, sorry, last year, and especially at the beginning of the season, we were saying like this team looks completely different now that Greener took over, and that team playing a lot more tight defensively. And maybe they see it as well, and they feel like, oh, we don't want to be that extra defensive New York Islanders in the 2020 season team. So let's dial it up now that we do have that. We know that we can get to the playoffs. Let's take some of those risks, I guess, offensively, and take those chances, cheat a little bit, especially early in the season. Now that it is experimentation time,
Interesting. Okay. So
that's
last
something I've
year,
seen.
did they not finish top 6, top 8 in the league offensively? Am I wrong?
That I don't know.
I'm just trying to look this up. I thought they were maybe not 15th. That seems weird to me. But maybe. I was never concerned about them scoring. I was just concerned about them defensively. And I still am. That's what I just want to see. I just want to see their defensive game tighten up.
Now, very much so, especially with all the question marks that there is there.
Right. And but now here's the people will be like, and I'm shocked that you haven't brought this up yet, that Jordan
Uh-oh.
Spence not playing.
I kind of saw it coming, honestly, because I mean he's 5 games, 5 points. I personally would have put him in, but knowing with the kind of storyline heading into the game about how physical it was going to be, not surprised Matt and
Yes.
Powell went in,
Yes.
and I don't think we're ready, or at least I don't think the coaching staff of the Sens is ready to just take out Jensen like that because I mean he is the veteran. He is the I would love to see it honestly. Give Spence some give Spence some reps, and Jensen some rest once in a while because I do want to see what he looks like next to Shabbat or maybe even next to Sanderson. But is the coaching staff
So
ready
you
to?
want to replace one of the arguably the best defensive pairing that the Sens have with
Well,
Sanderson
they're
and
top
Zub.
three for sure.
You want to replace Artem Zub with Jordan Spence, who is arguably a 6D.
I say try it out. Like I was talking the last couple of games, we're still technically early in the season. Time to
No, you can't
experiment.
give up these points. That's you. Every game matters. You can't. You know what? Let's see what happens tonight. Like you don't have that time, that luxury. The Atlantic, holy, it is a hard grind through that division. I don't know that you can do that. I don't have necessarily an issue of going Shabbat Spence, but here's the thing: I'm fairly certain that the coaching staff has tried to sort through this and go, is Nick Jensen better than Jordan Spence right now? And they feel that if they're going to the best of their ability to win a game is with Nick Jensen in the lineup. Like, it's not like they're like, well, we need to teach Jordan a lesson. We're not going to play him. Like, if they thought they could win the game, they would sit anybody if it mattered. And the Jordan Spence of putting up a point per game is interesting because now it creates a little bit of a buzz, but there's no I would have certainly dressed Nick Mattenpalo tonight.
Yeah, that part for tonight, I absolutely agree with. It's
They go into
just
Boston, I'd probably I'd dress them for sure.
try it out. Even if they go 11-7, which is what a lot of people have been throwing around.
No,
I don't know if that's Travis Green's style, but again,
they're
for one
almost
game,
doing it now. If you're not going to play Curtis McDermott very much, you're basically playing a forward short anyway. I don't know if they do. I just know, like we've talked with Yorkie about what it does to the defensive pairs of making it 11-7, and D guys just hate it.
that's fair. I want to see more of Spence, and
You just want Guy Boucher back. You want the
oh
tight
god,
defensive guy
oh
and the
god,
11-7 guy.
Wally, I know you hate me. You don't hate me that much. Jeez. Oh
Guy
boy.
Boucher could coach. Like
Oh, he's good.
he's a very smart coach. I don't know that also he did take this team to a playoff.
Mhm. I heard he's doing pretty well for himself though, in a city a little bit south of here.
Is he not in Russia?
Is he not in Toronto anymore?
No, he's in Russia.
He was an assistant coach last year in Toronto, I'm pretty sure.
He got fired.
Oh.
Or his contract not renewed, but he's out of Toronto. He's in Russia coaching. He's the head coach.
Never mind then. I guess that's why you're the boss. All right, let's wrap this up. Everyone in the chat, let's see. What do you guys think of going 11-7? I know Brent's against it. I'm a little iffy on it. Let's get some answers here right before we knock this thing off, because that's the
quickly,
only.
I just want to put up Justin. I always appreciate Justin in our chat. They were chasing the puck most of the night. Allmark was pretty good. Batty, as in Drake Batherson, did he forget that it was still in a game and not practice? I understand your frustration. I'm a little shocked that he did it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what he saw or didn't see, but yeah, that's a tough turnover to make. The pizza, if you will, up the middle of the ice.
Yeah, that's inexcusable. A lot of people are saying yes, worth a try for 2 or 3 games. Ornithologist saying. Going back to the interesting take, if McDermott is in, because you're barely playing him, you're already playing down a player. Then if you're already playing down a player, why not use that roster spot that you're barely using with McDermott maybe 5 minutes a night? Use it for a guy like Spence, who you
because
will
I
probably
just told you why. D guys don't like it because of the way it throws off D pairs. It never gets comfortable. And when you can talk to Yorkie sometime, they don't like it. Now, the one thing McDermott does is, regardless if he fights or whether he plays, he still keeps the temperature low because he's still a deterrent. And Ole Lixell hasn't he's outplayed him without question, but he hasn't done enough, I think, to replace him regularly in the lineup.
At least until Brady's in.
But that's we're still 15 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll deal with that one later because then there may be injuries, whatever. But as of right now, like I have no issue with Curtis McDermott being in the lineup.
Fair enough. All right.
Because how many guys are running Tim Stützle? Like I just remember in previous last season that guys would take liberties with players, and Tim was obviously at the top of that list. You don't see it this year as much, if at all, really, because Curtis McDermott will settle it down because he's like, if you're going to do that, then I will deal with one of your star players. If I understand he's not always on the ice against them, but he is that deterrent.
It
Do
is
you think
not
Paul Duke will think again before trying to dump Jake Sanderson in the bench? I'm just curious. I think
he got out of that with a power play, man. I'm sure
he got out of that with a gun on top of him ready to take his head off.
Oh, come on. He fell on the ice because a guy bigger than him pushed him down. Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm Paul Duke, I'm doing that again.
Sure, but you're going to have to answer of Curtis McDermott.
You just said he didn't have to.
I'm just Cody. He didn't have to fight. I'm just telling you, Curtis McDermott will still come in your face. Like he's still coming for you.
He got scared for a couple of seconds and then sent Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield to score a goal. Sorry, it was Slavkovsky scoring, but
do you think Travis Green was going, that was a bad decision?
No, not at all. But look at the end result. That's all I'm saying.
I love you.
Anyways, I think that wraps it up for tonight's game. We'll see you next Tuesday against the Bruins after the game.
Thursday.
Oh yes, Thursday. Sorry, geez, I'm off my game today. But yeah, against the Bruins, me and Jamieson will be back after the game. Wally, thanks for joining me. You're always welcome to come on here. It's great.
I have the link, so I can get him on
exactly. You don't even need to. You can just drop in anytime you want. Oh God, one of these days I'm gonna be saying something and then you just pop out of nowhere, putting me in my place. Right after Zetterlund scores his 20th goal, I'll be saying how good he is, and then you drop into the podcast.
Yeah. Hey, if he scores 20, we're good. All right. Talk to you soon. Hey, it's nice to see you again.
Talk to you soon, man. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.